Welcome in, everybody, to the Craft Beer Republic. Thanks for drinking. Thanks for joining. I am Greg, and I am being joined by the guy who barely made it, and that's Flex. What's up, big fella?
I forgot. I did forget to be here. Luckily, I just had to walk down a flight of stairs, and I was on.
Right.
But yes, I completely forgot about tonight.
And it was kind of funny. So, good times.
Thought it was hilarious myself.
Yeah, it was funny. We got a fucked up schedule the next couple weeks, so it's understandable. And make sure, hopefully, we'll keep releasing shows and all that good stuff. Who knows?
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully. See what happens. Anyways, follow us on the socials.
Sure.
At Craft Beer Republic, at Flex Me a Beer, _ in betweeners. Lots to get to tonight. Did some partying over the weekend, and I am still paying for it.
I'm very excited. You briefly spoke about this off air, and I'm very excited to hear details, ask some questions.
I can't wait for the questions. We got some news to get to. We had somebody write to us about that beer math story we did a week or so ago. The dollar pints. He did some math for us. And how many pints we would actually need to drink to make it worth it. So we'll get to all that in just a little bit. But I'm going to hope this is sort of like a hair of the dog situation for me and not a it's all downhill situation for me. Oh, yeah. Thanks to intern Brian, I am drinking Trillium Brewing Company's Congress Street 7.2%. Has a 4.27 on Untapped. Over 70,000 ratings.
That's crazy.
That's insane. I don't know if I've seen a beer with that many ratings before.
70,000?
I mean, I'm sure we have. I'm sure Sierra Nevada Pale is.
I mean, it is a shit ton. Like
that's a ton. Yeah, and to maintain a 4.27 at that.
Let's not I'm not trying to undercut it.
Sure, no.
But yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah.
From the brewery, they say our flagship American IPA highlights the distinctive aromatic Australian Galaxy hop. The nose bursts with pine, citrus rind, melon, and pineapple. Pronounced flavors of peach, clementine, and tropical fruits are accentuated with moderate bitterness and are balanced by a light, biscuity malt character. Galaxy and Columbus are the hops. They even go on to tell you what type of malts they put in this thing.
Ooh.
So the schnoz, I definitely get the pine. I get a little bit of citrus in there. I don't know that I get tons of melon or pineapple so much. It's a fairly light nose. As you can see, it's properly hazy. And they don't even call it a hazy. They just call it an American IPA.
It's wonderfully hazy looking. The head looks very nice. Nice retention there.
When I first poured this, it was like, I should have taken a picture. It was like the most gorgeous pour ever. Perfect amount of head at the top. Now some nice lacing. I'm digging in here. That is nice. I definitely get the peach. Get some tropicalness. I think I'm getting some pineapple in there. It's a little bigger on the mouthfeel than like a super cloudy. That's probably because it's got some malt to it.
Okay.
But it's real nice, easy to drink. A little smidge of alcohol at the end. You know you're drinking not a 5%er, but it's not like it's hot kind of thing. Just nice. It's good. I like this.
I enjoy that too.
Yeah, just a little right there.
It's like a reminder.
Back. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, don't forget me. I'm here.
You have two of me, and you're gonna feel it.
Yeah, you're gonna be a little buzzy after a couple of us, me and my twin. So yeah, good times. I like it. Thanks, intern Brian. This is a few months ago. I think this is what started the whole Flex's algorithm thing when he gave me that other Trillium beer, and we started talking about pricing because it was like $28 for a 4-pack, right? All that good stuff. So I had to get this while it was still somewhat fresh. And
well, that one's 7.2%. I'm sure that was probably $30.
Yeah, this was probably the more expensive one because one was like 28, and one was 30 for the 4-pack. So I think this is probably was the $30 one. Who knows?
Beer prices. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, same girl, same. Shout out to our top listening city last week, Hawthorne, California.
Oh, cool.
What up, Hawthorne? That's like near LA. It's just outside of LA.
Neat. I was going to say, I don't even know where it is.
Yeah, that's out in the hood. I mean, my hood-ish.
Yeah, not Anyways, a geography show.
Not a map show.
It's really not.
Yeah. I did hear a funny story at the birthday I'm about to tell you about. Somebody was saying they beat some guy up with a globe once. I was like, go on.
I thought globes were like hollow.
Yeah, maybe not this one, but he said like he got it and like rammed it into his face and just started smashing the dude. I was like, oh, do you have like Africa imprinted on his forehead after that? Or
you would ask a question like that.
I know. So
maybe
weird.
it was like the base of the globe.
Maybe
it's like flat and
Yeah, but I was
heavier.
Who knows? Yeah.
So
anyways,
please, tell us how drunk you were.
How drunk was he? Pretty fucking drunk, and I'm still feeling it today. So this is, as we record, this was yesterday. It was Sunday. Deb, happy birthday, Deb, had her birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Deb.
And we couldn't figure out what to do. So honestly, went to ChatGPT.
Like you do for absolutely everything.
It was kind of a joke. And I was like, all right, and if it comes up with a good idea, so be it. And said like, hey, our friend Deb is turning insert number here. And she's a huge fan of champagne and brunch. And I think I told it like one or two other things and said like, do you have any ideas we could do for her birthday? And at first it was like, you could take her to brunch. And I was like, yeah, no shit, ChatGPT, thank you. And then so we told it to be more creative and whatever. And it came up with the idea, which we ended up doing, or at least the base of it. And what we did was like a champagne around the world tasting, if you will. So every couple brought a bottle of champagne from a different region. We had a sign up form so we wouldn't get like, 30 California bottles.
That's fucking hilarious. You left that out pre-show.
Oh,
that's like some elementary school like birthday sign up bullshit. Yeah, that's hilarious.
I did an online sign up form and I maxed it out at 2 bottles per region. So only 2 Californias, 2 France, 2 Italy, all that stuff. And so, so people signed up, and then with that bottle, you're supposed to bring a food from that region. So, if it's California, that could be anything. It could be tacos or tri-tip or who knows. We got Italy, so we did an Italian Prosecco with a frittata. Tried to keep it brunchy. And so it was fun. Anyway, people brought some good food, and we had a good time. We drank so much fucking champagne. Like, champagne drunk is another level. Like, that's when I really start forgetting things.
Did you count how many bottles you finished?
No fucking, I don't know. Here's what I do know. So the people brought their regional champagnes, which was probably, I don't know, like let's say 7 or 8 people, or not people, but parties of bringing champagne.
Okay.
And some people brought one,
like 1 to 2 bottles per person?
1 to 2. Some people brought 1, some brought 2. Like we did 2. So there's, let's say in that there's,
let's call it like 11 bottles.
Okay. I was gonna say 12. I like 11. 11 bottles. And then on top of that, intern Brian, this is kind of a surprise for Deb. So like he snuck over to our house, dropped off some, what we call sideline bottles that weren't part of the theme. And it was just like, oh, if we need more champagne. I think it was either 6 or 8 more bottles. Let's say it was 6. Let's be conservative.
All right.
So now we're looking at 17 bottles of champagne.
So easily at least a bottle per person.
Yes.
Minimum.
Because I don't think there were 17 adults in this house. And so minimum a bottle a person. We did crack open a few beers. Our buddy Otter came over and he works at Tarantula Hill. He brought a new collab that T Hill was working on. It was delicious. At some point, I didn't know this happened. Intern Brian like DoorDashed more champagne. I was standing outside on the patio talking, and I look over the fence, and there's a dude getting out of a car with like this giant bag. He's handing it to Brian. I was like, oh my God, did he DoorDash more champs? At least 6 more bottles.
Oh my God. So 6.
They weren't all finished. I think.
So we're looking at 23 bottles.
I think 20 let's say 20 got consumed. Yeah. Because there was like a couple of bottles from that DoorDash left over.
That's a lot of champagne.
A lot of fucking shit. Minimally, I had at least a bottle and a half of champagne plus a couple of beers.
Good Lord.
Yeah, we just drank for 8 fucking hours. Like I started at noon, and the last person left at like 8:15, I think.
I mean, I was about to say I would probably be vomiting at that point, but 8 hours of drinking starting at noon.
Yeah.
I think I would be okay with that.
Yeah, and I didn't get too drunk. I mean, I got festively drunk throughout the day. I wasn't like shittered. I was trying to keep it together a little bit. A, is our house, so like if people needed stuff, I need to keep it together. B, our dog Marty's not doing well, and so like I had to make sure like he was being taken care of. We've had some diarrhea issues. Didn't want that happening in the house. But then after everyone left, I'd shit you not, I got a pint glass and I just filled it. It was probably about a half a bottle of champagne. Just started drinking that and sat on the couch and had that.
I'm getting a headache now. Just
that's when it really started kicking in. And then this morning when I woke up, I was like, "Oh, daddy, oh, daddy." Little buzzy this morning.
So now what kind of drunk, or I should say, what kind of hangover is champagne for you?
So first of all, I should say champagne drunk is apparently I forget everything. Like I don't think I was that drunk throughout the day until towards the end. I'm sure I was getting pretty up there, but I felt like I was really holding it together and I wasn't slamming champagne. I just was consistently sipping. But I remember so little of yesterday. Like I remember who was there. I remember talking to certain people and in specific conversations, like beating some guy up with a globe. And that kind of, but like, I was like, fuck,
well, you don't forget that. You
like,
really
how could
don't.
you? Yeah. But I was like, fuck, when did this person leave? And when did this person leave? And like, I don't know. I have no fucking clue. I didn't see so the last people to leave were, of course, Deb and Brian. I looked at the ring to see when they left. I was like, oh, they left at like 8:15. And so
that's wild because it's different when you're at somebody else's house and you miss people leaving.
Sure. But when it's your own house.
You're the host and it's at your house.
Yeah. There's a good couple hours where I was like standing
people come
outside,
up to you, say, "Hey, thanks for having us." So the fact that you can't remember that's something.
Well, like the one person in particular, she left. I have no idea what time. I guess I could look it up on the ring, but I think I was out on the patio when she left. So probably didn't see me. So didn't come say bye. I think, or maybe she came, said bye and, tickled my balls and left and I just don't remember it. Who knows? But yeah. So to answer your actual question, champagne hangover is not fun. It's not a throw up hangover. It's not like at least for me, not a stomachy hangover. It was the fucking headache and like dizziness. And like I had to drive somewhere for work today. I was like, fuck, I do not want to drive so bad. Like it was
throbbing headache, just kind of lingery. What is this?
Just kind of lingery. I'd say the worst part is like the sort of off kilterness where it's just like, okay, I'm spinning all day long.
That is not great.
Yeah. But it's in full effect. Like for lunch today, we all know that I eat fairly well, fairly low carb and all that stuff. For lunch, I was like, hey, I'm going to go pick up salads because we didn't have anything in the house. She's like, okay. But I went to the place that I know has great sweet potato fries. But I brought back some sweet potato fries. And I was like, I need these in my life so bad.
I do fucks with some sweet potato fries.
Oh, man. I'll get horny on some sweet potato fries.
They are real nice.
Yeah. A little ranch on there. Mm-mm.
Ooh, really?
Oh, yeah. What do you like?
Oh, I just like, I could just eat sweet potato fries. Like, because they're sweet, obviously. Yeah. And like you get some nice coarse grained salt on there.
Oh, yeah. I did add some salt on there. Freshly ground.
That's all I need.
Yeah. It's good.
With that salt just fucking hits with it.
The salt is key. I'd say that's more important than the dip for sure. But I do a little light ranch dip with my sweet potatoes. The wife fucking would drink ranch if it didn't look weird. So she's over there like, it's a fucking spoon for ranch basically. But I just, little light hint of ranch, ton of salt. Set my life straight.
See, hot take, unpopular opinion. I don't love ranch.
Just in general?
Yeah, like with anything.
Oh, see, I don't like ketchup. Like I don't want ketchup on my fries.
Oh, see, I can eat ketchup with just about everything.
Too sweet for me. Too sweet.
Okay.
So, too sweet for life.
Not a wrestling show.
That's my death for the day.
So nobody brought any buzzballs? No buzzballs were consumed?
Funny you should ask. I had to go to Total Wine before to pick up the champs, and I saw buzzballs, and I picked one up for Deb.
Nice.
And I wasn't there when they did it, but they gave it to her, and the wife took video, and she took it like a Smirnoff, like an ice. She got down on one knee and chugged.
Are you supposed to chug them, or are they just like RTDs? You just drink them?
No, she's just a champ. So she fucking downed it, but I don't think there's a rule to, it's not like being iced.
Okay.
I want everybody out there who listens, who sometimes comes to my house ever, to know that while I was at Total Wine, I also purchased a 6-pack of Smirnoff Ice.
I've thought about this, and I thought it would be really funny to ice guys at work.
Oh, like while you're working?
Yeah. So like buy the 6-pack and then like if I say I'm like got a closing shift coming up, then I would like set everything up as I closed. So when everybody came in the morning, they would be shocked and awe and probably obviously not chug the ice before work or when they find it, but after, and then just have this huge chug circle.
And then, it's waiting for you all day too.
And because they just, we got like our beer cooler and shit. We sell liquor at work.
Mm-hmm.
They just came out with these new Smirnoff Ice things. They're like 6 ounces, maybe 8 ounces. And they're like 13% alcohol.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I forgot what they're
much.
called. They're not called shorties. They have a name to them.
Like
I should look at
deadly diabetes or something.
But I was like, man, imagine icing somebody with this.
That would be shitty.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be terrible.
Terrible.
Like you're not even somebody's friend doing that.
Right.
You are now enemies.
Well, so I hesitate to say this on the show because I know people who come over to my house will hear this and I don't want to tip them off. But the wife, I might even cut this out, but the wife saw a thing on the gram where somebody put a Smirnoff in their.
Okay.
So that's why I bought them. There is now a Smirnoff sitting in my.
That's ruthless, man.
Yeah. Oh, you going for some aspirin?
Okay. They are called shorties. That's what they're called.
There you go.
Yeah. 13% alcohol, 6.76 ounces.
Should be called Friendship Bruners.
And I think they come in a couple flavors, but that's not the important part. The important part is
that they're awful.
You should find these and you should ice your friends with them.
Yeah. Your best friends.
Yes, because that will show a true testament of friendship if they stay.
Yeah, if they don't punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Good times. So anyways, that was Deb's party.
Smirnoff Ice in the...
Yeah.
What a horrible idea. We've done toilets before. We've done under somebody's covers before. My favorite ever was the pizza box. I did the pizza box. One. Yeah.
I tell that one a lot.
Yeah. I love icing people.
To anybody who does get it, I'll be nice. I will swap it out for one of the cold ones in the fridge. You don't have to drink the warm one.
Chugging warm would be easier.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
But then you taste it more.
Chugging something ice cold with like some carbonation, it's terrible.
But then you taste it more.
Not if you chug it.
I guess.
You're not tasting anything if you're chugging it.
It'll be up to the chugger. I'll let them decide.
It's a gentleman rule.
Yeah. I'll be that nice.
You're a nice guy, Greg.
Yeah.
A very funny part of the show was taken out to protect the integrity of the hiding location of the ice. Apologies for the inconvenience. Now back to your favorite podcast.
You should hide one in between your couch, like the arm of the couch and the cushion. Somebody sits down, they're gonna feel it. They're gonna be, what's stuck down here?
And if they don't feel it, you go like, hey, is the remote down there? Can you reach for it?
Super solid.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like that.
Well, I'll report back. Like I said at the top, somebody wrote in and commented on, I post clips of the show on like YouTube and social media and all that stuff. Somebody commented on the clip of us talking about the dollar pints for life if you spend $10,000. And he did math for us. And he said if pints are $8 each, which is what we said, and you donate $10,000 to save $7 a pint, you need to drink 1,428.6 pints to break even.
It's a lot of beers.
I think we said, what do we say, like 13 or 1,400, so we weren't far off.
Yeah, well, I think you guessed it. I was just in awe still, but...
Yeah. So anyways, thanks for doing the math for us.
And 10,000, that's a lot of money to drink.
Yeah. I'd like to say I haven't spent that much money on beer, but we all know.
Well, that's not the point. that is definitely not the point. The point is this said tap house, or it was like a tap house opening up, right?
Brewery.
Oh, it was a brewery.
They wanted to like expand their tap room or something like that.
Okay, that's what it was. So you have to wonder, are they going to be around that long for you to make your money back?
Right.
Like that
or
10 grand donation, it's not necessarily going to go far.
Yeah. I mean, I donated $50 to a Kickstarter or whatever for a brewery that never opened. And I'm still mad about that.
Sheesh.
Let alone 10 grand.
That's still rough.
Yeah. That $50 supposed to get a free beer and your name up on the wall.
Just imagine how many tacos you could get with $50.
Oh,
You know, like that's what crosses my mind.
Now I'm
That's why I don't gamble.
Yeah, same.
You know, it's like you lose money and I'm like, well, could have used that money on this or this or this. And yeah, and then it's just fucking, it's gone.
Yeah. It's why, like, if I'm in Vegas and I decide to go hit up a casino or something, I will set an amount. Like, I'm not spending more than whatever it is, $300 this weekend on gambling.
Okay.
And then to me, it becomes paying for entertainment. You're paying for something to do. And I'm okay with that. And
Okay. That's an interesting way to look at it. I've never thought of it that way.
And that $300 could last me 5 minutes if I'm an idiot. Or if I'm doing all right, maybe it lasts me the whole weekend. Maybe I make a few bucks. But I have decided I'm willing to part with $300 to have a good time.
Okay.
And then it's just like buying tickets to something. You know, I'm buying tickets to the roulette table, basically.
You know what? I like that concept of you're just paying for entertainment.
Yeah, because you'd pay if you went to a show or anything else. So.
Yeah. I guess it
Pay
makes
for it.
sense.
But, you know, like my buddy who used to go back in our single days, and he'd lose $500 and go, well, now I got to win it back. And then, you know, $3,000 later.
Right. That is
still
the
trying to win it
wrong
back.
way to go
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, first of all, you'll never win it back. Even if you do, you don't.
Especially when you have feel that need that you have to, like you have to try to get it.
Right.
That never works out.
Yeah, when the pressure's on, you'll never win. So, especially when you're playing stuff like I always play craps and roulette. Like I don't play skill things like, you know, poker or something. I like craps. I like roulette. I guess craps has some skill to it. But yeah.
Well, a little bit, but like blackjack, there's tons of like do's and don'ts and rights and wrongs. And last year at work, we played a lot of blackjack, like post shifts, have a, you know, shift beer and hang out in the garage and play a couple hands. I don't remember what is good, what is when you hit, when you don't hit, when it's what's the fucking word when you're trying to be like kind to somebody? It's like I can't fucking remember. But it's like you don't hit on certain cards or certain hands because it's not good for this person next to you or you know, so on and so. Oh yeah, there's like
who gives a shit? I'm here to win.
They say on certain hands, if people hit, there's people that will get up and walk away from the table.
That's their problem.
Because it is the wrong thing to do when you were playing at the table.
That sounds like a you problem. I'm just trying to win money.
It blew my mind.
That's insane. I've never heard that before.
Oh, yeah.
Blackjack's the one card game where if someone's like, hey, we have to go play cards. I'm like, all right, I'll play blackjack.
It's
not
fun.
a poker fan. Yeah. Poker's just not that fun to me. It's boring. Too much shit to remember.
We talking like 5-card draw or are we talking like Texas Hold'em?
Yes.
Okay.
If I'm going to play poker, like 5-card draw, I'm a little more into than Texas Hold'em, but none of it. I don't want any of it. Give me some blackjack. But really, I want craps and roulette. Those are my games in Vegas.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm like some old person that at the craps table. I love being at the roulette table and people are like, what's your strategy? Like, I don't know. Find the guy who's making a bunch of money and do whatever he's doing.
That's not a bad idea.
There's one time I was at this table. This guy, I don't know if he had strategy or if he just liked certain numbers. He was just winning fucking spin after spin after spin. I just did what he did. I made a bunch of money. How'd you do it? I don't know. That guy seemed pretty smart.
That never would have even crossed my mind.
You know, because it's not like poker where you can't see what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, it's out in the public.
It's out there, yeah.
This guy's going 32, so am I. Put it all on 32, motherfuckers.
Jeez. Maybe I should try that.
Yeah, it's good times.
I don't go to the casino ever, but maybe now I'm just going to walk around and just take some peeks, see who's doing well, and just try and piggyback that.
Or I tell you, like, if I'm walking through a casino and I see that there's like a roulette table that's just had, 10 reds in a row, just ripe for a black, I will just stop up. Hold on, $20 on black, just like, no way it's not going to hit black this time.
Right.
And I'll just, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the numbers person in me is like, you can't go for an 11th red. It's got to go black.
Law of probability.
Mm-hmm. And then I get sucked in, but that's a different story. Never go over that $300. Anyways, not a gambling show. Not a gambling show. Before we find out what you're drinking over there, one last thing. Got hit up by a mutual friend of ours. I won't say who it is only because I didn't ask him if I could talk about this or not. But they have an investment in a brewery and was saying like, hey, what do you see as far as like not only beer trends, but activities working to get people in the door of a brewery? We have a lot of great music. We have a lot of great events. We have a lot of people coming in, but we could use some more. And especially like certain days are, significantly slower than others.
Okay.
And so I said, well, first of all, I gave him the Flex and Greg speech. I said, put some Gozes on tap and I'll be sucking at the teeth, first of all. I said, but, I don't know what's on your tap list right now, but one thing that's really important to me beer wise is some stuff that's not 7, 8, 9%. Give me some lower ABV shit so I can have 2 or 3 and still drive home.
Right.
There was a brewery that does not exist out here anymore. And they always were, low end of their beers were like 8, 9, 10%.
Oh, wow.
Like, that
not
was
for me.
The
low end?
That was, rarely, they had one blonde, which I wasn't a huge fan of. And then everything else was blondes. Everything else was like double IPAs and all this other shit. It's like, hey, man, I want to have 2, 3 beers, hang out, and still be able to make it home.
If you have TVs and you always have like sporting events on, you gotta have some sessions. You gotta have lagers.
Yeah. So I told him sessionable shit, pales, Gozas. And I said, the nice thing about a Goza or a sour somewhere in that category is it's unique. Not everybody has one. So you can go, hey, come try our whatever it is, Goza or something.
Right.
And just make sure your beer tenders educate people on what it is if they don't know what it is. Hey, this Goza, it's a little sour, not too, a little salty. It's fun. Have a taste. And I said, in terms of events, at least out here, I don't know if you've seen this, out here at breweries, bingo seems to be popping up more and more.
I have not seen that. That sounds awesome.
Well, the only thing is it's only popping up at the breweries that are not doing well. So I said, don't have bingo. It's a sign that
it's a sign you're not doing well.
Yeah.
That is fun.
I've also seen comedy nights are only at breweries that are not doing well.
That would not draw me in.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I like a good comedian, but like I went to one at a brewery that just closed at the very beginning of the year, or maybe right before New Year's. We went to one like a month before they closed because we knew people going and like, hey, come, my friend's going to perform. So we went out and it was fine. I think I talked about it on the show. Most of the comedians sucked. There was one that was decent. It was a sign of a dying brewery. And then like a month later they died. So I said, don't do bingo. Don't do comedy nights.
Trivia is pretty classic. Most breweries have like a trivia night.
We all know I love trivia.
You do. You love it. Eagle Park
last week.
What I thought was really cool, they did twice this year. They had a brewery up from Illinois and they had a brewery down from Minnesota for like Packers Bears, Packers Vikings games. So then those breweries brought on some guest taps.
Sure.
And then they did, some giveaways during the games, touchdown shots, because they distill and have full bar and everything like that as well. Something like that for like sporting events is always kind of how do you, make that even better? You go for a ball game, a baseball game, football game, just make a spectacle of it.
Yeah, make it a party. Yeah. A baseball party.
Because then from everything I've heard, people would get there, when they opened up at 11 and some of those guest taps would already be killed by 12:30.
Wow, that's pretty good.
That would really get people in the doors.
That's smart. I've never seen that where they bring up a brewery or whatever from that region of the team.
And then the last one they did because their parking lot is pretty enormous. They got a field goal post and they held a field goal kicking competition.
Okay.
So that's just another sounds dumb but fun, and there was a shit ton of people crowded around watching these guys just try and kick. So,
and I bet you could even do free entry into the field goal contest if you buy a beer or something like that.
Get a raffle ticket. Well, that's how they did all the raffles. You buy a beer, you get a ticket. Perfect. And then every commercial break, they would raffle off a T-shirt or a hat or a 4-pack of beer or something like that. So just really gets people in.
Yeah, I really like that. I really like that field goal contest idea. Because that's fairly easy to do. You set up the shit outside and
Yeah, or you could do like a football throwing contest or something,
anything.
you know, mark it up with some chalk on the tip and, you know,
Just
see where
tip.
it hits.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
I like that a lot. So yeah, hope that helps.
And then it also, you know, it's good for the breweries because, you know, everybody knows if you work at a brewery, you know, somebody works at another brewery and,
Right.
you know, you gain friendships and, you know, through collaborations and whatnot. So
That was another thing I said. Collab. Anybody that will put your name on on their menu board.
I feel like collaborations haven't been frequent lately. Like I feel like they've been kind of dying out.
Yeah, I wonder if they got a little fucked out during COVID. People were doing all their like Zoom beer collabs and stuff. But it's smart. You get your name on someone else's menu board.
But that is another cool thing that EP does is they have an entire beer fest with collabs from other breweries, and they bring all of these guys in for the fest as well. And it's like, hey, they brewed this beer with us, and so every beer is Eagle Park and so and so, Eagle Park and so and so, and then they come out with 2 6-packs, like a 12-pack variety of every single beer that they're releasing at the fest, and then you could buy those. And
so that's really smart.
I mean, it's a really, really fun idea.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And then it's always hosted around 420. So joint fest, they call it. And
yeah, bro,
it works really well.
I dig it. That's actually really smart. I like that a lot. So hopefully he's listening and hopefully something's helpful, or hopefully someone else is listening and it's helpful. Who knows? Anywho, speaking of beer, you're looking thirsty over there.
In a world where craft beer is king, a world where muscles are bigger than growlers, only one tongue can guide us. One man, one tongue, one tongue jobber. In this world, we must find out what is Flex drinking.
All right. Well, today Flex is drinking a new beer I picked up today. It's so new. There's only 28 check-ins on Untappd.
Oh,
so
not 72,000.
no, yeah, it's like complete opposite of yours. So this beer is called Off Season, and it is from Three Sheeps Brewing Company. They're up about an hour north of me in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. This is an Imperial Hazy IPA. 28 check-ins, a 393, and they say here, an Imperial Hazy IPA inspired by the quiet calm of winter, which you really don't know about. When the crowds have thinned and the town slows to a standstill, bursting with juicy pineapple, tropical lime, and sweet fruit flavors, this brew offers a smooth, full-bodied texture that's perfect for savoring the slower pace. Embrace the stillness and make the most of the off-season. This bad boy rings in at 8.5%. It smells... Get a little whiff here. So the flavors... The aroma isn't pungent. It's not like hitting you in the nose.
Sure.
Light flavors, kind of hoppy on the back end. Get a little bit of that citrus lime, I'm assuming. So we'll warm up the old tongue jobber here.
Ooh. Oh, it's warm.
Okay. So similar to the aroma, the flavors aren't huge, but you do get a little of that pineapple. Definitely feeling that lime. And you get, again, like some hoppiness, some dank on that back end. The dank is slight, but you definitely get like those hoppy flavors. It's a really enjoyable beer. There's no whatsoever hint of that 8.5% ABV. So this drink's really nice. The color, it's like this bright, it's hazy, but it's not murky.
Yeah, it's not the thickest beer you've ever seen.
Yeah, it's lighter bodied than you would think for an 8.5, and all around, I'd say a 3.9 is superb. I hope it stays there. That's a really good score for this, and I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, sounds delicious. A little tropical fruit salad.
Oh yeah, it was solid. I can't wait to drink the next 3. Actually,
1 down, 3 to go.
Look out,
daddy like. I'll stop saying daddy.
Just say daddy all you want.
Yeah. Oh, daddy.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. All right, a little news before we get out of here.
Yeah,
bad news.
Not a daddy show.
Not a daddy show. Well, when you're around, it kind of is.
Daddy.
Bad news to report. Non-alcoholic beer had a record dry January in grocery stores. They claimed 4.2% of the beer share in grocery store sales.
That's gross.
What's wrong with you people? Yeah. Some potential good news for the people down in Georgia. Georgia lawmakers are considering legalizing self-distribution for breweries.
Why wouldn't they?
Because money and stupid laws and ass backwardness.
Stupid.
Yeah. The Craft Beer and Local Economy Revitalization Act, SB 122, would permit small breweries to sell up to 3,000 barrels annually to retailers licensed in the state that are located within a 100-mile radius of the small brewer's licensed premises. If adopted, SB 122 would also remove the 288-ounce per person daily cap on off-premise sales at tap rooms. However, it would limit beer to go sales at 6,000 barrels in the aggregate among all brewers licensed premises making such sales. So you can only sell up to 6,000 barrels if you want to be self-distributed.
Well, usually the smaller guys are the ones that do that anyway, so.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that wouldn't be that hard to keep it under 6,000.
No, not at all.
In to-go sales.
And then if you're able to get your beer out there, then you should be able to get your beer out there.
Right, then you get to
spread the word.
You get an actual distributor, and do it. Fucking do it,
Just
Georgia.
Do it.
Right in the butt. Just do it.
What?
I said what? The largest shareholder of Sapporo Stone slams Sapporo for their $91 million impairment on Stone Brewing. So we all know what an impairment is. I think we learned about this thanks to Ballast Point. Basically, when you way overspend on something, in this case a brewery, and it's not worth what you paid for it, you can make an impairment that just says like, whoops, we spent too much. It's not worth that money. And I think you get some tax breaks on it too when you do that. Sapporo Holdings has taken a more than $91.5 million impairment charge on the goodwill of its Stone Brewing business, which they bought for nearly $165 million. So well over half.
Jeez.
The impairment charge announced on January 30th was met with criticism by 3D investment partners. They issued an open letter to Sapporo's board of directors reiterating concerns regarding the company's severe lack of capital discipline amid repeated large-scale impairments. From 3D Investment Partners, a Singapore-based investment fund manager, which Reuters reported is the largest individual investor in Sapporo. They issued an open letter to Sapporo's board of directors expressing concerns regarding the company's severe lack of capital discipline amid repeated large-scale impairments and strong disappointment and concern over the Stone write-down. They wrote, unfortunately, the Stone impairment was not the first time Sapporo destroyed shareholder capital through acquisitions. In fact, Sapporo has recorded impairment losses on all of its acquisitions of overseas alcohol beverage business, including Sleeman Breweries, Sapporo Vietnam, Anchor Brewing, and Stone. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. They fucked up everything they bought. I forgot about Anchor.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Makes you think who's behind all these sales.
Right.
Or the purchases, I should say.
Yeah, some idiot. The cumulative impairment loss of those acquired brands amounted to more than $250 million. So it goes on with more numbers and details, but I think that's enough for now. Baltimore Ravens offensive line Ben Cleveland was arrested for DUI. Baltimore Ravens OL Ben Cleveland was arrested for DUI last week after blowing a staggering .178 when a breathalyzer was administered. I know what you're thinking. That's only a little over double. It's not like...
Well, and he's an offensive lineman, right? So
yeah.
What is his stature? It's like... He's like 6'5", 330 or something like that?
6'6", 360.
Oh, geez, I was way off.
Yeah. Teams reports in Milledgeville, Georgia. Police pulled over Cleveland over on February 12th after observing him driving erratically in his Ford F-250. Officers claimed that Cleveland nearly drove the vehicle into a ditch before being pulled off. When asked if he'd been drinking, Cleveland told police he had approximately 3 or 4 beers.
Damn it.
At 6'6", 360, feel like it might take more than 3 or 4 beers to blow a .178 on a breathalyzer.
Unless he counts pitchers as just beers.
Maybe he's doing some Andre the Giant math or something.
I've seen some guys just order pitchers before.
Yeah.
And then they just drink right out of them.
Yeah. In fact, while BAC is not exact science, Alcohol and Drug Rehab Center's Addiction Treatment Information, a website dedicated to reducing alcohol addiction, states that Cleveland would need to have had around 16 beers in a 3-hour span if they were each 5% in order to produce that result.
Oof.
He failed multiple sobriety tests and was then arrested and taken to a nearby jail. Once there, police administered another breathalyzer test, which still returned a .161. So still over double at that point.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Big boy been drinking. You know, I would bet that if, you know, you're a big boy and it takes you a ton of beers to get that drunk, probably takes longer for them to get out of your system too, because you had so much.
Well, and if he's 360 pounds, his metabolism's probably not great.
No, that might be true
Therefore,
too.
it probably sticks in the system a little longer in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Not a scientist.
No, not a scientist, not a science show.
No.
Just a little beer science.
But that boy was drunk.
Ooh. It's a good thing for the cops that he didn't get a little unruly. That's a big boy.
Well, I mean, they got tasers, you know.
True. Or worse.
Well,
but yeah, I'm glad they didn't have to use it.
Yeah, no excessive force here.
Yeah, exactly. Just excessive drinking. Whew, big fella.
You know, sometimes when I drive home randomly, like from work, I'll go through the ABCs backwards in my head.
Oh, just to test yourself?
Yeah, I got it down pretty well.
Yeah. I can't do it sober.
Really?
ZYX.
WVUTSRQPONMLKJIHGFEDCBA.
You fucked something up. You said NML. Oh, no, that is right. NMLK. Yeah.
Yeah. That might, I might have not, I think I trailed off at the end there. Forgot a couple, but
yeah. Did I hear a niner?
Yeah. Sometimes I just do it in my head like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, yep,
that's funny.
Yeah.
Back in my day, before Uber was really a thing, and I'd go out drinking with the fellas or something, my test was always because the one thing I've had to do multiple times when being pulled over was.
Have you been pulled over?
A couple times, yeah.
Okay.
And they had me like get out, and I've no DUIs, knock on wood. I've been okay, but they'd always have me close my eyes, look up, and then count to 30 silently. And when I get to 30, put my head down, open my eyes. And it's just a test to see, like, are you within an acceptable range? Like, or are you in here like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that.
Interesting.
Little do the cops know, I used to work, I work in TV. I used to work in live news. And as the director, all I did all the time was count people in. So I'd be there all the time. All right, everybody stand by. We're going live in 10 seconds. 9, 8. So I was really good at counting down from 10 3 times. Like,
throw your head back, close your eyes. All right, everybody, we're be live.
Yeah, here we go. In 10,
29.
Yeah. I just did to 10 3 times. And then I remember one time I put my head down, opened my eyes, and the one cop looks at his partner and was like, a little bit of a, oh, wow, reaction. I was like, thanks, gentlemen. Can I go now?
Damn.
So
that's legit.
Good times. So yeah, anyway, so my self-test is, I've sat there in my car and I've, hit the stopwatch on my phone and then closed my eyes. 10, 9, 8. See how close I am?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love how ridiculous we are.
So stupid. So
I've heard the big one here too is you stand on one leg and you touch your nose.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently what they're looking for is just to see if you're falling or getting off balance, that you can catch yourself.
Yes. It's that you catch yourself and don't fall.
Yes.
Because not nobody, but a lot of people aren't good at standing on one leg sober.
No. And then what do you look up and touch your nose?
Yeah. I think you kind of look up and then like you bring your finger in from the side.
Yeah.
Touch your nose. Yeah. So, they're putting you in an off balance situation, even if you're sober, but they want to know if you catch yourself or if you fall on your face. That's the test. So just make sure you don't fall, everybody. I
was always worried about the walking in a straight line because I'm pigeon-toed. I cannot walk in a straight line sober. So having to walk in a straight line drunk, I would be terrified.
I don't think I've ever had to do the straight line. It's always, look up, close your eyes, count. I've had to follow the pen before, like they put a pen in front of your face and go side to side. They just want to make sure you can track with it. I've also just done breathalyzer tests too, which it's fine. Yeah, I'll blow.
Man, knock on wood. I've never been pulled over for anything like that, and I hope I never am.
Yeah, keep it that way.
Trying.
Yeah, my funniest breathalyzer test was I was not driving, and we were leaving a Padres game. And outside the stadium, San Diego, they have good beer at that stadium.
Right.
And we had strapped it on a little bit. And so outside, just to like prove a point, they were doing breathalyzer tests.
I remember you telling this story before.
Yeah, see how drunk you are. And they would ask, like, how drunk do you think you are? And then you'd blow and see how close you got. And so like the wife did it, and she was dead on. The wife goes, I think I'm right at the line. She blew. Oh wait, she fucking nailed it. I was like, I think I'm I don't know, like a 10 or 11. It's like a 17.
Were you really? You were Cleveland drunk?
I was Cleveland drunk. The cop's like, hope you're not driving. I was like, definitely not, sir. So that was good times.
I wonder how many beers it would take you to get to 17.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, we had done like beer in San Diego. We'd done beer tasting all day. And then we'd gone to the game and had some beers at the game. And so like, I knew I was buzzy, but I didn't think I was hammered.
Well, 3-hour game, drinking beers beforehand. We'll call it 5 hours. So if he had to drink 16 beers in 3 hours to get to 17,
Jesus,
then probably you're half of his size.
Yeah. Well, a little more than half, but, that math was based on 5% beers. I'm drinking IPAs then in San Diego.
That is
I'm
also
sure I'm
true.
drinking
That is
7 and 8%ers all day, probably. This is back in the West Coast days.
Okay.
So yeah. But I mean, I must have had 10 beers that day at least. It's hard to tell when most of them were flights, but
true.
Yeah. Good times. I was like, all right, I'm going to call my Uber now. We weren't driving anyways. That's why I submitted myself to it.
Right.
Yeah. So
hell yeah.
Oh, good times. All right, let's wrap things up. Thank you all for listening and for drinking and for joining and for all those good things. I'm going to hit some.
Hi, Vanessa.
Yeah. Hello, Vanessa. Well, I got a little creepy on that one.
Yeah.
Follow us on the socials at Craft Beer Republic, at FlexMeBeer _ in between 805-538-BEER. It's 2337. Haven't heard from Chew in a while. Need some voicemails. I think that's everything. Hope everyone's staying very well hydrated.
And on that note,
good night, everybody.